Okay. Okay, we're back with another video. So sorry about those janky camera angles for some of those videos. That was just terrible. Yeah, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, so this week I decided to do 3 DIYs. I did a spooky tree, and another wreath, but this one is way different, I promise. And I did a little thing in the back, as you can see there. I did my dining room table, which took way longer than I thought it would have. And I did some bats that are currently flying in my house right now. So I just want to do or post a video before Halloween, just you know, if you're watching too many Halloween movies like me and you're like, I want to decorate, but I don't want to really do much. These are easy because everything I bought is either from, like, I guess Germany's version of the dollar store, or kind of like a Home Depot store, like the flower pot. There's some fall greenery that I bought that I can actually use later too, because I just kept it in the pots. And then the rest of the stuff, it was super hard to find that greenery for the wreath, because everything is glitter, because, you know, all the Christmas stuff is out. But yeah, so here we go. All right, these I just printed off of Pinterest. You can just look up bat outline and print a bunch off, and make sure you get some different shapes and cut them all out. All right, here you just outline them. I use cardboard. I would actually suggest using some black cardstock instead of cardboard. It would be a lot easier to use. So after that, cut them out and just take a pencil and bend them. And then I use painter's tape to stick them to the wall, and you're done. Sticking them to the wall, just start with a few and then work your way out a little bit farther, adding more to kind of group them together. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of interest to my flower pot. I just took my clay, flattened it out, and then made a shape that I wanted. And then you're just going to glue those to your flower pot after they dry with some hot glue. As you can see, I have everything glued onto my flower pot. I'm just spraying it with a matte gray spray paint. And then here, to make it look aged, I'm just giving it a light coat of matte black spray paint, just going in certain sections very lightly. So for the tree, I just use acrylic paint. I started with a very dark gray on the bottom and then worked my way up a little bit lighter. At the very top, it's almost white, creating an ombre effect. These fairy lights I picked up at the dollar store as well. I'm just weaving them in and making sure that I separate them as much as possible and using the branches. And then we're gonna cover up this hole in the bottom, and then we're gonna add some of the drainage rocks that you put in planters. And here I'm just taking my little plants, putting them in, just leaving them in the pot because as I water them, the drainage rocks will catch that extra water.
right, and just add a little bit more moss after you get all your plants in there. And then we're gonna hide the battery pack with hot glue gun and moss, and then you're all done. So as you can see, my wreath didn't come with a hanging string, so I'm just gonna hot glue one on. And here I just took my dollar store mask, spray painted it brown, and then just hot glued some cardboard on it to make it bigger so it fit into the wreath. And I'm just gonna trim that back, but that's actually gonna be a support for my clay that's gonna go over the mask. And now comes the fun part. I'm just rolling out the clay to make it super thin, and I'm just gonna place that over the mask. So here I have the clay over the mask. I'm just cutting out the mouth that was already actually in the mask, and then I'm just gonna press down and really get all the details of the face and kind of work my way up through that. So here I'm just using the eyebrows that are already on the mask. I'm just detailing them even more, and then to smooth out everything like your handprints, just rub on the air dry clay and it'll go smooth. And now what I want to do is I want to take my knife and actually just go up and down, creating little slits. And when this dries, it'll actually create the cracking effect of bark. So my mask is dry. I'm just adding a greenish gray paint to my mask, just covering up all that cardboard and giving him some more details. As you can see here, I covered my wreath in moss and I'm placing my mask down. And I'm just giving him some shadowing work. So you want to work around the nose, the mouth, and those areas, and especially at the top where the cardboard is, it'll make it look like the tree is actually rotting. Here I'm just adding his eyes. I didn't go super crazy in the details. I just used a really dark paint to kind of make the eyes look hollow. Here I'm just using the hot glue gun to hold all of my greenery into place. I'm creating a V shape, and then I'm just going to use smaller greenery around his chin. And then we're going to get some sticks in there as well at the top and the sides. So I'm just adding the sticks now. You can use it with the cardboard in the back of the mask, and if you had a wood wreath like mine, then you can just stick them in that. All right, just adding the final details. I added a little bit of moss to the mask as well, just again using my hot glue gun, and just the little details at this point just to finish it up with some different color moss, and we're done. For this table centerpiece, these roses were too red for me. I just mixed black paint with water and made them a little more dark. This was my little Easter egg. I took something unexpected and spray painted it matte black. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope everybody has a great Halloween, and we will see you next week.